So I want to go all the way back
Sure.
to when Linus was working at the computer store.
Yeah.
And you had a decent salary, life is good.
Yeah.
What made you decide to take the jump to do your own thing?
So there were a couple of reasons. Number one was I had some fundamental disagreements with my boss about the direction we were going as a company. So there was one particular night, and our relationship was a little tense at that time because I had recently sent a very complainy email to the development team, all the product managers, and all the category managers because there was a new feature in our internal system that added an extra click to my workflow for something to do with inventory management, contributed absolutely nothing, increased page loading times, and was not on the list that we had provided the development team at the beginning of the year of our top 10 priorities that everyone down from the CEO to all the devs had committed to delivering to. They hadn't delivered one of those items, and instead they were working on this crap that was just making my life more difficult.
It's a bureaucracy.
So I sent out this email. I go, who requested this feature? Who greenlit this? This is not what we asked for. I CC basically the whole company, everyone in senior management.
What was this company, by the way?
NCIX, yeah. I get back, uncc'd everyone else. I get back a 3-word response. It was me from the CEO. So things are a little tense between me and Mr. Steve Wu at this point. And so it's probably, I don't know, it's like a week later or something like that. And we end up having a conversation after hours because I was there finishing something up, and so was he. And he says, our number one priority as a company is to reduce our on-hand inventory. And I say, no, I fundamentally disagree with that. As a retailer, our number one priority is to sell more stuff, move more boxes out the door. Because if you sell more stuff, your on-hand inventory is not a problem. And so we'd had some conflicts over the years. Like there was this one time that I bought, do you remember Coolit systems?
No.
Okay, so they still exist, but they were in the consumer space before they lost a patent disagreement with Asetek. They make all-in-one closed-looped coolers for CPUs. Okay, so Coolit had to exit that business because they lost this patent dispute, and basically they had to get rid of like a few thousand of these things all in one go. They had to get rid of it now because they couldn't sell them anymore. So I bought the entire thing for like half price, and I bled those things out over the course of almost 18 months. And so there was this tension because he was mad that it was in his warehouse for 18 months, but I thought it was fine because I was making anywhere from 25 to 75% margin on it, which from my perspective is just fine. So if you're making money, it's not a problem. If you're not making money, it's a problem. So anyway, we had this disagreement. Things got a little bit heated. He said something along the lines, and I'm paraphrasing, but if you can't march behind the banner of the directive that I'm laying out for this company, then maybe you shouldn't be on the product management team. Wow. Maybe you should just make YouTube videos. And I kind of went, oh, well, that's a good idea. I'm sure he meant for him, but...
But you were like, idea? So...
And it's not like I hadn't had my eye on the increasing AdSense. Like, I'm a very numbers-driven person.
When you were thinking about?
So this was back in 6.5 years ago or so.
Okay.
So whatever year that would be.
So AdSense exists. People are making money
Oh,
on
yeah.
YouTube.
Well, sort of.
Yeah.
So I'm not making a ton of money at this point, but what I am seeing is the growth.
Yeah.
I'm really numbers driven. And I remember very distinctly, this was with not the CEO, but with another boss that I had. I remember being so excited because for the first time ever, we had done $1 of AdSense in a day. Wow. And he's like, wow, good for you. Go get a McDouble and then get back to work.
We're talking about McDonald's dollar menu here.
And I was like, no, but don't you see? That's double what we did 6 months ago. Growth.
Yeah.
It's all about growth. And he was like, cool. Call me when it's $1 million, you know, like that kind of thing.
So you were making videos for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Linus Tech Tips has been around over 10 years, and I've only been independent for 6 and change.
I did not know that. Okay. So it started under that umbrella.
That's right.
You were searching for the independence, basically.
So what happened after that conversation was I started to crunch some numbers and I went, okay, I don't know the first thing about editing. I don't know anything about shooting. The only thing I know is tech and hosting. And also I have some management skills because that's the kind of role that I was in at the company. So, and I started to try to figure out, okay, can we make this work? And I figured that yes, we could, but what I really needed was the YouTube channel. So Linus Tech Tips at that time had just under 200,000 subscribers. And I figured I could start over, but that would be really, really difficult. Like even for someone like me, and I'm not saying I'm some kind of mega genius or anything, but I'm obviously an experienced YouTuber. I know how the space works. I can build a successful YouTube channel. I've done it multiple times now. But even for me, the prospect of starting over at zero at that point was incredibly frightening. So I had to work out a deal where I could take the channel with me. Now, I couldn't take it by force. There was no legal ground for me to stand on there. But what I could do was I could negotiate. So the deal I ended up striking, and now that NCIX doesn't exist as an entity, I guess I can talk about it because there's non-disclosure agreements and stuff like that, but they're gone. So the deal I ended up striking was I bought the Linus Tech Tips YouTube channel for $1. And, whoa, hold on. No, I sold my soul a little.
Okay.
In exchange, what I gave up was I signed a 2-year non-compete. So I could not do any paid work with an e-tail or retail organization that operated in North America other than NCIX. So I would have to work
for 2 years.
That's right, exclusively with manufacturers. I tied into a very bargain basement rate to continue to host the videos for their channel, NCIX Tech Tips, for 2 years. I signed a no poaching clause, so I couldn't hire any talent from NCIX, and I think that's pretty much it. It was mostly about the non-compete, because basically at that point I had decided I was leaving. I didn't agree with what we were doing, so I had to go. So I laid it out this way. I said, look, either I'm leaving and I'm going to Memory Express or Canada Computers or Newegg or something, or I'm leaving to work independently and I will sign a thing that says I won't help them at all.
And there's a lot of people don't know, but there's a lot of behind the scenes to a lot of channels. You know, you have like Philip DeFranco with Discovery, you have Grace Helbig with My Damn Channel.
Yep.
And there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, but it is really cool to hear that, yes, those 2 years were probably a long 2 years, but to be on the other side of that and to have built what you've built now is amazing, right? And I'm sure you like this much better than not having a job for a company that's out of business.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, my timing was, looking back at it, was outstanding.
Yeah.
I got out before being at NCIX was any kind of black mark.